Evans, good morning.
Good morning,
How
sir.
are you?
I'm excellent,
Good,
sir.
good, good, good. Good to have you here.
Thank
All right,
you.
so when we talk about snacking, what are snacks and why is it an even important consideration to have?
Wow, thank you. So one more time, a very good morning to our cherished viewers out there. When we talk about snacks, usually people are expected to eat three main meals in a day. So a breakfast, the lunch, and then the supper or the dinner. But then in between, sometimes they become hungry. So they want something just to eat, to hold their hunger till the next time for the next main meal. So when we talk about snacks, snacks are any foods that we eat in between the main meals. It is very important because there are instances where if people don't eat snacks, they tend to be too hungry. And when they become so hungry and the food is placed before them, they tend to overeat the food. And that will also contribute to getting so much calories that the body may not end up using in all. So that is one. And then also, we need energy to work. So long as the person, gets hungry, it means that there is a drop in the sugar level. And that also means that work output in a way is going to be compromised. So the snacks actually come in to provide a boost of energy, especially when several hours have passed before the main meal. So when we talk about snacks, these are they, and then these are the reasons to
now,
eat
you see
snacks.
the way ordinarily,
Yes.
when we talk of breakfast, you know that, slices of bread, maybe fried eggs, a bit of veggies, maybe a cup of tea.
Yeah.
But in our part of the world, we determine what our breakfast is depending on the kind of work you are going to do.
Exactly.
Do we have specific foods that should come under snacks? Who determines that? Or I determine what kind of food I want to have in between my main meals. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
A snack just existing in names, or it is the group of meals that we call them, that makes us call these kind of meals snacks. Per your definition, it's just something you are having in between main meals.
Yes.
That's a snack. Doesn't matter what it is I'm consuming in between those meals.
Yes. It really, really matter.
Okay.
It really, really matter. And what we take as snacks is very, very important.
Okay.
And then I'll also look at the combinations to make.
Okay.
And then possibly give examples
Sure.
of what makes a healthy snacks. There are actually snacks that are not healthy.
Okay.
And then there are actually those that are healthy. So when we talk about the healthy ones, we have a number of them. So we have our smoothies, whether made from the fruits or fruits plus the vegetables. So those are very, very healthy options that people can actually go in. And then there are instances, these days people want to, have something to drink because of how hot the weather is and so on. And so they tend to consume the sugar-sweetened beverages. There is a way to actually look at that because, these are linked or traceable to a number of non-communicable diseases and even tend to aggravate, the state of health once they are, consumed. So we can go in for our local, drinks. Let's talk of the sobolos, let's talk of the lamujins, the asana. These ones are locally produced. I am recommending them because, we have some natural spices and other ingredients incorporated. So if you take the sobolo, we have the hibiscus leaves, we have the ginger in there, and other, ingredients which have been shown to be health protective once they are consumed. You take the ginger, for instance, it protects or promotes a good digestive health. It helps to boost our immunity. You take the the hibiscus leaves, research has found out that taking the hibiscus leaf can actually help to lower the blood pressure. So in this case, for people who are hypertensives, it actually will help them.
Okay. So for instance, I'm a manual worker.
Okay.
Okay. And so my typical breakfast won't be tea and bread.
Okay.
Okay. My breakfast is kenke, pepper, and fish.
Exactly.
Because I believe that, with the kind of work I do, I'll burn these out.
Yeah.
Now, my afternoon meal, my lunch will be maybe fufu and soup.
Exactly.
In between, can't I take some small awamu as my snack?
Okay.
Depending on what no, do you get it? That's why
got
I
what
ask
you're
that. It's
saying.
not just the name of meals taken in between, or it is what you are consuming that makes it a snack or not.
Sure. The meal you are consuming also counts.
Okay.
And then, like you rightly said from the beginning, your activity level
Yes,
also counts.
Yeah.
For somebody who is a manual worker, those who are into construction,
Yes.
kenke can be their
Your
breakfast.
yes.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to burn it up.
Yes.
So the breakfast is not to say that it should solely be porridges. It should solely be teas.
Yeah.
But depending on what kind of work you do,
Activity, yeah.
you can choose to have your banku in the morning. You can choose to have your fufu in the morning.
Yeah. If you're going to the
depending
farm,
on
going to do
what you are going to do. In the days of old, these porridges actually were not that common. So people tend to eat, so to say, the heavy, products. It is now that the porridges are gaining ground. And in the days of old, you see that physical activity was actually on the rise. Before you get to the farm, you would have walked miles before you get there. And then also, if they get to the farm, they don't just sit down. They are not sedentary. They actually put the energy to work.
Yeah.
So if you are the type who is actually very active and you prefer to have that in the morning, there is no problem. However, we actually want to look at the quantities you are having and the composition. What you are taking, is it, very refined, or you have fiber incorporated into it?
Yeah.
So people can actually have, refined food products, or if you like, polished food products, forming the breakfast.
Yeah.
Those ones are very high in calories. And so long as the calories are high, it raises a lot of health concern because you are careful to maintain a healthy weight so that other, consequences do not start setting in. So it is very important to look at the meal and the composition. So just as I mentioned, they can have the banku depending on the kind of work
So
they are going to do.
in this case,
Yeah.
what are we looking at as snacks? Do you get
Yeah,
it?
I got what
so
you're saying.
So this is a construction worker.
Exactly.
Okay. Me now, banku is my breakfast, and I'm going to do fufu for lunch. In between, if I want snacks, I'm not looking at almonds. I'm not looking at, I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
I got what you're
Can
saying.
you eat like maybe some small portion of jollof rice, depending on your activity?
Exactly. You can have that. But then the truth is that, nutrients are not found in only one food source. The nutrients are widely distributed.
Yeah.
And depending on the cooking method that is used, sometimes you tend to leach some of them out, or we tend to destroy some of them by heat and so on. So typically, if you look at, so to say, the jollof, the same jollof taken in between, say, breakfast and lunch, between lunch and supper, and so on, you realize that possibly the person might not have had fruits, might not have had almonds. So at the end of the day, nutrients which are subject to destruction by heat would have been destroyed in the course of the preparation of what you have mentioned. So the whole day, the individual would not have any of the vitamins. So to say that, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, which are all can be destroyed by the heat.
Yeah.
Then also, you also want to look at other minerals as found in the almonds, as found in the flax seeds, as found in the chia seeds, and so on. Some of them too, depending on the cooking method, can be leached out.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful to use the right cooking method that will give you the
Maximum
needed
benefits, yeah.
amount of nutrients before the day goes to an end. So this is what we actually have to look at anytime we are eating. Variety is always the spice of life.
Yeah.
So if you want to be one-sided when it comes to our meal choices, it is possible that we can have nutrient deficiencies. And once the nutrient deficiencies, whether mineral deficiencies or vitamin deficiencies, can put us in another state of health, which we wouldn't want to be in. So it really depends on what you have programmed yourself to eat for the whole day. Whether you are going to go the rice for morning, go, let's say, the fufu, in the afternoon or in the evening, or the banku or the kinki. But in between these times, you may want to have fruits. You may want to have the smoothies. You may want to have the seeds and then the nuts. So to say, days of old, we didn't have these sugar-sweetened beverages on the rice. So you go to town, you are coming home as a mother, as a father. You want to get something for your wife and for your children. You grab some roasted plantain with granules. You grab some roasted maize with granules. That is the graphic and times.
Yeah.
You grab that. Bring it to mommy is happy. Daddy, children are also, happy. But now the story has changed.
Yeah.
You buy that for your wife. You are like your colleagues are buying pizzas and the rest for their wives and children, and you are buying roasted maize with coconut for me as a present. So sometimes the mindset of the people, the lifestyle also counts.
Yeah.
So we have to be very, very careful, especially where now technology is advancing. People are doing very little but consuming so much and so on. We have to be very, very skeptical about what forms our meals.
Before you leave us, just talk about the quantity of food that we consume. I was at an event over the weekend, and I saw some people heaping their plates. I was actually disturbed, because sometimes I feel like...
Especially when it comes for free.
Yeah, and then we say, just make a comment about that before.
Yes. You see, about the quantity, like I keep saying, everybody and how much he or she needs. But as a general rule for everybody who for some reason may not have the opportunity to meet the dietitian, always look at the plate. Whatever plate the individual chooses to eat on or to eat from, we have to do some divisions. So the plate will be divided into 4. So the first half, so the first division you have half. That half should contain our vegetables, if we like our salads. Now the vegetables, most often than not, are incorporated into the preparation of the soups and then the stews. So that is to say that for the soups and then the stews, they should take half of the plate. Then also when it comes to our carbohydrate, the starches, whether banku, whether kenke, whether rice, that should take quarter of the plate. So the remaining half will also be divided into 2. So one part of it should actually take quarter of banku, quarter of kenke. Somebody will be wondering, hey, if I should eat this, am I really going to get satisfied?
Yeah.
Yes, we know that we are cutting down on the carbs. And so long as the carbs are reducing, there is the need for us to bring in something that will replace how much of the carbs we have taken away. That is why we have increased the soup portions and then the vegetable portions to take half of what?
You see the way I'm looking at you.
I can see the way you are really looking at me. And then the proteins will also take the other quarter of the plate. When we eat this way, it is most likely not to overeat. And not to overeat, I mean that the total calories that will come from the food wouldn't be so much.
Evans, have you heard they said a hungry man is an angry man before?
Very good.
And you see, sometimes it's not the hunger, it's the inadequate food you are eating, which will distract your whole day. You know that kind of kind of mentality. Because, so what if I will eat the food, I'll go for a walk, at least let me be satisfied. But if you tell me that the carbohydrates should take half of the plate, because the plate now, Kasara, how big is the plate? Do you get it? And we are splitting the thing into 4. Carbohydrate will take quarter. Oh, come on.
Freba, that's why we have obesity issues in this country.
Exactly.
That's actually why. Yeah, it's true. Our obesity is going up.
No,
it?
no,
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
But can we be a bit?
If you want to be obese, continue.
No, this one, it looks like something in a book that you are learning to get right exams, but practical tests.
No, let me comment briefly.
Doesn't the sun has anything to do with the energy levels? You understand?
I'll comment on that. But even before
Yes,
before that,
yes.
you know, the notion that you all have to correct is that if I should eat and get satisfied, then banku should be a lot. That is the notion.
Okay.
The fufu should be a lot. The rice should be a lot.
Yeah.
It is not only the carbs that makes us satisfied. It is very important to clarify that.
Even vegetables can make you satisfied if you eat
So
enough of it.
the whole
If you eat enough of
idea.
it, but you know, vegetables. Me, there are certain things when I eat, I don't get satisfied. Like spaghetti,
Why do you mean?
chips.
It's in your mind.
No, when I eat these things, I don't get satisfied. I still
Exactly.
feel like I've not really eaten. And it means in the next 1 hour or 2, I need to go and eat something proper.
Exactly. Where proper means you want a lot of fufu and what have you.
Something.
So I just to make things clearer.
Yeah.
We shouldn't think that it is only the starches that can make us
But it
satisfied.
should come up small.
Definitely, definitely. But then, because you also want to be skeptical about your total calories, we want to, eat everything in moderation.
Yes, that I
Moderation
agree.
is
Yeah.
actually the word. So let us look at it from that perspective, that with just the starches alone, they are going to get more energy. But if you have your soup with more vegetables, and you even you overeat, let me say that, let me say it that way, and you even overeat,
Yeah.
the truth is that when you are satisfied, your total energy
Yeah.
or calorie is actually going to be reduced. So let's look at it from that perspective. Then the issue of the weather. Sometimes the weather plays a role, but the truth is that we have internal mechanism. There is something we call homeostasis, which has to do with the maintenance of constant, internal environment, weather temperature, weather pH, and so on. So as time goes on, the weather will change, but God has put into us mechanism that to actually stabilize or regulate any parameter within the body that has actually changed. So that is how God has framed us.
All right.
Evans, how do people get in touch with you?
Yes, so they can get in touch with me on 0243 8276 0243 8276 for calls, for text messages.
What about social media?
And for WhatsApp. I'm on Facebook, Evans Adra, so they can
Reach out
search
to
for
you.
me
Okay.
and then follow me.
All right. Thank you very much.
Incidentally, cold weather causes you to generate more energy. So you burn more energy in cold weather than in hot weather.
Really?
Just incidentally.
But it looks like
So
weathers,
small,
you
but it
don't
came
get.
for you. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.